Welcome back to the Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Fubo, YouTube TV, Hulu, and others have told the FCC, you don't have any authority to turn us into cable companies, no matter what those local channels demand. We'll be breaking down what's happening there and why this may be one of the biggest fights of 2024. Sling TV is getting into video games. Yep, they're launching an arcade mode for Sling TV subscribers full of, let's be honest, like Android apps. We'll tell you what's happening there and what that means, probably why they're doing it. And also Disney says they want to greatly improve the quality of their apps, and they pick out one of their main competitors and say they need to be more like them. We'll tell you who and what's happening here in a second. First though, if you want to learn more about all these stories, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. You can find a link to each story we talk about there. If you're new here, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people. It really does help us. Hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of TV, but still watch the shows that you enjoy. All right, let's start off. Last week, the National Association of Broadcasters came out and once again said one of their main objectives for 2024, or I should say for the first time, said one of their main objectives for 2024 is to once again continue to try to get services like YouTube TV, Hulu, Fubo, and others to be classified as cable TV companies and regulated by cable TV companies. The big change here for them, well, they talk about how this is to ensure that local news doesn't go away. It's really about the fact that this would force YouTube TV, Hulu, and Fubo, and others to negotiate directly with each individual local television station owner, where currently they're able to do things like negotiate with Paramount and get access to all the CBS channels, for example. Local television stations aren't happy about that because they don't think they're getting as much money as they should. Well, the Coalition to Preserve TV Choice is another coalition, like National Association of Broadcasters, that have been formed to represent companies like Roku, Fubo, Hulu, YouTube TV, and others. And with this, they have come out with a press release that they sent Cord Cutters News this week, where they say, you don't have any legal authority to do this, FCC. Even your chairwoman has come out and said, you don't believe you have the legal authority to do this. Now, that's not stopping the NAB. They're approaching this on two fronts, hoping the FCC will try it, and then they can get in court and fight that out in court, or to get the local local representatives of these news organizations to introduce bills to go there and change the law. And that's basically what would probably have to happen. It really comes down to money. Of course, TV streaming companies don't want to have to go TV network by TV network to arrange these contracts. We already see that a little bit with DirecTV Stream and DirecTV, because DirecTV Stream uses the DirecTV contract. When DirecTV has a blackout, DirecTV Stream also does. But we could see that happen with locals on YouTube TV, Hulu, and others if the FCC changes the rules. This would also force these streaming services to pay the FCC fees, or regulatory fees, for them to be managed and supervised there. We'll keep a very close eye on it, but this is something that I think will become one of the biggest fights of 2024, because local television stations want more money from streaming. That's where the money is moving. A majority of their income still comes from local television. Retransmission fees from cable television and more. As those drop, they want to get more of that from places like Hulu. So keep a very close eye on this, and I will be too bringing you updates. But for now, local TV stations are facing a problem that the laws that are on books now don't permit the FCC to regulate them as cable TV providers. We'll keep a close eye on it. All right, Sling TV is adding video games. If you're a Sling TV subscriber, you'll find a new section on your Sling TV home screen full of video games like Wheel of Fortune, Tetris, and others, where you can actually play them on your television, as in one window you're watching your TV program, in the other window you're playing video games or full screen video games. It is kind of a cool windowed mode, which maybe Sling TV should bring, where you can watch 2 channels or more at once through this setup here. But Sling TV announced that this is included with your subscription. There is a video that demonstrates all this in the show notes down below. But with this, you get a ton of games, with some big ones like Wheel of Fortune, Tetris, and a bunch of other independent games. These a lot look like Android-type games, very basic games you find on a mobile device. I call them Android, but iOS games and the like with it. Interesting move by Sling. I don't think this is going to get a lot of people to subscribe, and I honestly don't think it's going to get a lot of people to stay subscribed. It's probably one of those things that really doesn't cost much money, but it's one more added benefit they can market. Not only do you get all these TV channels, you get video games with it. I just don't see this being a driving factor when people are choosing streaming services, as many of these games can be found on mobile devices already. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Well, including mobile games, even though some of them may cost money on mobile devices, into a Sling TV subscription, have any bearing on which streaming service you pick? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, next story up from Variety. Disney's Bob Iger this week had a talk, and he came out and said that Disney streaming apps need to become more like Netflix. He argued that Netflix is technologically well advanced of Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, and that Disney wants to improve the quality of their streaming apps to meet the quality that we meet with Netflix. Which I find interesting because a lot of people have been complaining about Netflix recently, crashing on Rokus and some other devices, but mostly Rokus I hear about. Let me know, are you suffering any problems with Rokus or on Netflix? Let me know. But what do you think? Do you think Netflix is by far a far superior app than those you get from Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus? I honestly never really sat down and said, oh man, Disney Plus is so bad, I wish they were just like Netflix. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. But Bob Iger said that they needed to a design to distinguish themselves at a quality level of what Netflix is able to do. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, Lionsgate is going to start splitting itself up in April. Lionsgate is the parent company behind Starz and many movie studios and television studios. Well, coming in April, they will split Starz off into its own independent company and then split its studios off into its own independent company. Why do this? No real official stance here, a lot of business talk, but if I had to say my prediction was to limit the risk of Starz negatively impacting the studios, and it may be a major flop at the studios negatively impacting Starz. This is done a lot. We saw AT&T spin off DirecTV. They retain a majority control, and Lionsgate will retain a majority control in Starz, even though it'll be a separate company with that. They'll own a majority of the voting shares with it and ownership, but this allows them to say in the future, it's either sell Starz to write Starz off if cable collapses and the market falls apart. Basically limits the risk of negatively impacting the studios and vice versa with this. No exact dates of when this will happen have been announced yet in April. If you're a Starz subscriber or you like the movies from Lionsgate, really doesn't change anything. Just an interesting look at another attempt to kind of protect themselves against the growing wave, we'll have to call it, of cord cutting at this time. All right. Next up, FCC has warned again that the price of internet could be going up in April unless Congress acts. The ACP, Affordable Connectivity Program, offers discounts on either home internet or wireless phone plans to millions of Americans. Well, they've stopped accepting new signups because they're running out of money. The program needs a new funding from Congress in the billions, which not millions, billions, to keep this program going. And they warn that after April's payments, they will not have enough money to continue to do this if Congress does not act. There's multiple bills and things in the works to try to make it happen. At this time, that's still very much in doubt. And the FCC has sent a letter to Congress to say, hey, we really need you to renew this. We'll keep a close eye on this. But let me know what you think with it. But for now, April is the last payment they expect to make on this. And if you are getting a discounted internet, you'll have to start paying the full internet fare, additional $30 or more on your internet with this. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, the popular kind of cult hit Community will be leaving Netflix in April, but they will start filming a Community movie. The much demanded, the much dreamed of movie for Community is finally a reality, and it's coming out, or it's going to start filming soon. Bad news though, Netflix is going to lose access to it in the near future. All right, let's dive into the question of the day. I always try to answer one or two questions every day, either here or in the comments down below. Do me a favor, if you have a question for me, start it off with something like a question for Luke so I know you want me to answer it on one of these videos. Today's question is about the recent news that Warner Bros. Discovery is going to be cracking down on password sharing, much like Netflix did and Disney Plus plans to do later this year, and Hulu also. Luke, would the crackdown on password sharing look at your physical address or your IP address? What happens if I use multiple internet providers in my home? It's done by IP address. Now, you get this a lot with things like Hulu. You can go in there and say, hey, this is my home location, and then Hulu acts different for its live TV service. Other ones do that. YouTube TV allows you to set your home location for your locals with that. So it's based on a couple of things. Your billing address is one, but your IP address is the main way to do that, because you can have a billing address in a completely different state and then have it different for you where you live, or your physical IP address. So yes, these services will track your IP to determine if somebody's using your Netflix account outside your home. Now, that's not an instant ban. They're looking for people who are consistently doing that. People who say, hey, this is my home here in Michigan, but there's always somebody in Washington or Florida or Texas who are always logged in watching content there too. So that's what they're going to be looking for. But Disney, Hulu, and Max will start their crackdown later this year, and it won't get into full effect until 2025. It's reported that Disney, Hulu, and others will start with warnings, and then after some warnings, then they'll look at suspending accounts they believe are blatantly and aggressively password sharing. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back again real soon.